Have you ever been writing something and realized that you majorly f***ed up? I'm not talking about any small spelling mistake or anything like that. I'm talking about something that actually fights the plot you have currently written. It's not always easy to keep track of what you already have done, but I'm here to tell you there's a solution. Your mistake is actually a blessing in disguise. Stories are interesting because they have unexpected twists and turns. So having something that doesn't make sense in your story is actually a good thing. The most important and difficult part though is how you make it work. If you find a mistake in your plot, don't delete it. I actually encourage you to keep it in there and act like it was on purpose. The most captivating part of stories are those moments when something doesn't make sense and the audience is trying to figure out how is the author going to make this work. Let me give you a perfect example of how I was able to do this in my science fiction novel, Serendipity. You see, as I was writing this, one of my main characters, Grayson, actually had a bit of a pitfall in my writing. The problem being that after a few chapters, he hadn't really had much characterization going on. And so, naturally, I was worried that I had ruined my entire plot. But what I decided to do was very sneaky and tricky, and I encourage you to do the same. I morphed my story so that Grayson not having much characterization or personality was actually on purpose. I let the audience know this by having a conversation between him and another character. The other character, Mags, brings up how he doesn't believe Grayson really has an opinion on things. And so I was able to sort of break the fourth wall with my own writing. Now, instead of having to go back and rewrite a bunch of dialogue, it is now canon in my story that Grayson is kind of hiding from something. What that thing is now an interesting plot line that the audience can fantasize over. Embracing your mistakes can lead to some very interesting scenarios. But the best part about these scenarios is that they're unexpected and people don't think they're generally gonna work. This is what makes that impending twist so much more interesting. All ideas are good ideas. Writer's block is the devil, and having a conflicting plot line is not something that you should be ashamed about. In my experience, everything is fixable without hitting a delete button. So instead of taking away that work that you painstakingly fought for, take a step back and embrace your mistakes.